SDFM.
Hey there, Street Togs. This is you, and welcome back to Street Drifters FM. This is a um, new era for this particular segment, as I'm moving everything again, like I said before, to YouTube. And so, with Street Drifters FM, I'll be moving it to YouTube as part of a segment for my YouTube channel. Although you can still hear this in your favorite streaming, or rather podcast streaming platform. For those platforms, this will be the last episode. All right. However, for YouTube, this will be the first podcast that I'll be uploading to the channel. So, before anything else, welcome. For those who are new here, for those who are who came from my podcast audience, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the Exposure Triangle, TET TV. I'm actually thinking about changing the name though. It's not very unique, I would say. When you search on YouTube, there's a lot of the Exposure Triangle, and yeah, I would get that. The Exposure Triangle is the is a very basic, very common phrase, word choice, knowledge, especially if you're into photography, since when you're talking about the exposure triangle, you're talking about aperture, shutter speed, ISO, or ASA. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about a few updates about the YouTube channel, and then a few things that I would like to share with you regarding street photography, especially here in the Philippines, in Davao City. First things first, COVID. I'm not sure with other countries though, but in Davao City, there has been a lot of plans on getting rid of the masks. One city in the Philippines is, considering not making the wearing of masks a must, only in enclosed spaces like malls or offices. But for the street, it's open. You can just do away with the mask. Of course, with the general public, we know that not many of us will be not wearing masks. This is because for the past 2 years we've been wearing masks, and as a precautionary measure, so that when you go home, you won't get any other family member sick with COVID. So there's that. What does it say for street photographers? Well, it's good because we'll be able to shoot expressions, people being happy, people being sad, or angry, or whatever. Again, emotions. We'll be able to photograph emotions after two something years. Yeah, two something years, 2.5 years, I think. So there's that. And one of the things that I'm excited about that is, whenever we're walking, at least we have the option to put on or take off the mask. Especially in the Philippines, it's quite hot. It's I don't know, it's 30 degrees Celsius outside, and so whenever you're walking in the early afternoon, early morning, noon time, late afternoon, it will always be hot. Weather will always be hot. And so, at least there's an option to take off the mask. So while walking in the open street, you'll be able to breathe properly, and at the same time, people will be able to see you taking photos of whatever you're taking photos of. So that's good. The other update is I've had, for those of you who know, or for those who have been watching my one of my videos, earlier videos in this YouTube channel, I have a lot of manual lenses, especially the cheap manual lens options. I had two Makey lenses, the 35 and the 28. I haven't published a video on the 28. I'm still working on that, I think. And then I have my Industar pancake lens, 28 mil, and then I have my 7 Arsons, the body cap lens. I was about to say pancake, but technically it's a body cap lens. And so, quick update. I've been shooting a lot of wide shots recently, and I'm finding the imperfections of the 7 Artisans to be both a blessing and a curse. In my previous video, I said that it is one of the difficult aspects of shooting the 7 Artisans UFO lens. If you're shooting black and white, there's a intense vignette of which you can remove. However, if you're shooting color, there is a purple vignette of which is nearly impossible to get rid of unless in Lightroom you eliminate the purple color so that you won't be able to see it. And in turn, if there are other elements that has a purple color, then you won't be able to see the purple color in those particular shots. So in my case, it's not a really big deal. I'm shooting a lot of black and white this year. I've shot a few color. However, I'm committing to just black and white this year, and I'm trying to push my boundaries as to how much technique I will be able to pour out with black and white. How am I going to play this and that, especially with black and white. So far it's been going well. If you want to see some of my black and white photos, you can go check my Instagram account. I'll link that below. And also some of the photos here in the channel are in black and white. And so with black and white, with the 7 Artisans UFO lens, I find it very interesting to have the vignettes at certain certain photos. The 7 Artisans 18mm is roughly a 27-28 field of view in full frame terms, and so you get that dramatic wide angle. And so since I basically shoot in the style of William Klein and Daido Moriyama, I like the field of view and I like the aesthetic of just the snapshot. Also, with the principles of Gary Winogrand, but I mean, with Gary Winogrand and the masters, they're better than me. That's for sure. And so, but with the principles of Gary Winogrand and other photographers that I really like, with a wide angle lens, I find it very forgiving, at least for me, to not shoot it perfectly. Everything's going to be in focus anyway. Just choose an angle, pick an angle, shoot a couple of exposures, one, I don't know, it depends, so long as you get the shot. So whenever I'm shooting a wide angle lens and I'm walking around the street, it's fine. I don't really care. If it's blurry, I don't really care. That's the shot. yeah. And then while I was shooting, wide, with the seven artisans, and also I have my two Sony lenses, the 16 mil f2.8 and the kit lens. Sometimes I shoot a kit lens. I find that I miss, having to shoot from afar. Um, with the whole COVID situation, a year, 2 years ago, I didn't really care. I would just go up to a person to just take a photo. I guess what I'm thinking about that time was, since I was wearing a mask, and I was trying to build up, confidence, to get up close to people, and so I didn't really care. No one really cares. No one can really see my face. So yeah, I would shoot like that. And this year, since there's that option, I can just take off the mask sometimes out in the open. It was not nerve wracking, but I find that people people don't come close to me when I take off my mask. This is because, again, like I said, going back to the COVID thing, it's a safety precaution. I get it, and so sometimes I miss. One of my realizations was I miss shooting with a telephoto lens, or in a very zoomed in scenario where there's less distortion and whatnot. And so, like I said, I was shooting my kit lens, and part of that particular situation was because I miss, shooting telephoto lenses. So I find that I've been carrying a lot my old Meiki 35 f1.7 and the Pancake 28 f2.8 Meiki, which gives me around, for 35, 52, 53 mil full frame equivalent, and for the 28, 40 something, 40 mil. So I've been carrying those lenses, and I'm literally having fun shooting, how would you say that, mini telephoto lenses, or I don't know, normal lenses to be exact, not wide lenses, because of the compression. And so I will again experiment on using the 35 and the 28 mil more, so that I can understand. Because when I transitioned to wide angle, I transitioned basically because it was difficult for me to take shots up close while maintaining while having the rest of the scene be in the photo, because with the 35 on a crop sensor, or with the 28 on a crop sensor, it becomes tight. The photos become tight, and so that's one of the main reasons why I switched to a wide angle. And so I'm going back to the telephoto just so I can shoot more close-ups, and experiment from there. Not really close-ups like 85 or something, but a 50 a little bit tighter, 40 a little bit wider than the 50, so on and so forth. So I'll be testing that out again on the street, probably after work or before going to work. I have a different day job now. For those of you who don't know, my previous day job was, I was a teacher. I was a senior high school teacher, and then I just go out in the street every weekend. With my new work, I usually work on weekends, so the only day else I have are Fridays and Thursdays, and so whenever I go shoot the street, it's usually before the shift or after the shift during nighttime, of which I'm not very, good at shooting nighttime. I haven't had much experience. And then when I go out from work, it's usually 6 a.m. So I usually sit, walk around, take photos of whatever I see. So yeah, I'll be shooting a lot of the Makey and I'm testing a hack for lenses that don't have aperture clicks. For us photographers, we like the clicks because we know the aperture value that we're in. With clickless aperture lenses, sometimes it drifts, and for me it's very annoying. So with my Makey 35, I was testing a hack, and I'll be making a video about that so that you can do it on yourself. If you have on yourself, no, not on yourself, on your own clickless aperture lenses for your cameras. So yeah, again, I'll be experimenting a lot, and I think for street photography, experimentation is key. If you have new gears, usually the first thing that you are going to think about is to experiment on the gear, to test the gear out, have fun with the gear, and after a while, that fades. It's like the honeymoon phase. It also happens to me, but with street photography, I think experimentation is always the best bet, because it's where you discover certain techniques, even though if you're not thinking about the technical aspects of photography, like the shutter speed, aperture, and ISO, techniques always come a long way, and you'll be able to test out your composition skills, given the different field of view. And yeah, for the 35, I'll be referencing a lot of HCB, Henry Cartier-Bresson. I hope that I get it right, as I'm not very good, at least for me, I'm not very good compositionally for certain types of lenses, for tight lenses like the 40 and the 50 equivalent lenses. For the wide angle lenses, yeah, it's so easy, just point and shoot. That's that simple. Set the aperture, point and shoot. Set the aperture, set the hyperfocal distance or zone focus distance, and then shoot all the way. Doesn't really matter. However, for tight lenses, I think it's gonna be quite a challenge, especially for me, as I'm not very. I haven't been shooting with the with the 35 and the 40 that much as of this year. So again, I'll be testing out my techniques, my compositional skill, and whatnot for these types of lenses. And I think for most of you, experiment. Experiment with me if you have the time. If you can send me, or tag me in one of your photos, that'll be fine, so that I can see. I'll be also tagging you in one of my photos. I have a specific shameless plug. I have a specific hashtag on Instagram. It's hashtag Street Drifters FM. For those of you who are not familiar with that particular hashtag, I usually put that on all of my photos on Instagram. And so if you'd like to see my work, again, just go to my Instagram account, U1 Data. I'll be linking that below, or search for hashtag Street Drifters FM. So again, quick update. This will be the last podcast that I'll be uploading on my podcast streaming site, and then this will be the first podcast video on my YouTube channel. I like doing podcasts because You know, I don't need to show my face. I'm a bit shy. Although in the near future, I'll be, doing a video podcast for sure. But until the time, I'll be testing this out, um, pushing my confidence to the extreme, and just, let time dictate. Anyway, I hope everybody's safe. Keep your families and your friends safe. Keep yourself safe when you're going out to shoot in the street. Always be mindful of whatever that you do, and just just enjoy taking photos. Again, this is Yuan from Street Drifters FM. I'll be seeing you in the streets. Ciao.
Stay safe. Stay at home. A friendly reminder from Street Drifters FM. SD FM.